I think the term alternative credentialing really it signals that there's lots of different ways of doing something, and not just the traditional way that a university or an industry partner might operate.
Despite current thinking, we have been in this space for a few years now, developing alternative credentials through 21C, Western edX, and partnerships with schools and our open learning platform. We have an active and vibrant alternative credentials group that reports to ABCAC and the DVCA. It is all the stakeholders you would imagine, including some 6 PVCs. We have delivered an alternative credentials strategic framework and operational model, and now have a strategic group looking at priority alternative credentials for this coming year.
Typically in an alternative credentialing, you bring in another organization. And in my field of cybersecurity, you bring in industry. And industry is at the forefront of cybersecurity, not academia. So academia works a lot on research, and they understand how to deliver materials at a way in which people can comprehend and at the right pace. But industry brings you the up-to-dateness. Increasingly, what's being done is a company might partner with a university, and then they co-badge credentials. And so it's been set up specifically for that company's needs. But when it turns out well, you can invite other companies' employees to come in and take the program as well.
Alternative credentials need to be responsive to community and industry demands. We really need to align ourselves with our industry partners, because the demand for alternative credentials will come quite quickly. We won't know months or years in advance what is needed. We actually need to be able to turn around our alternative curriculum design very quickly. We've got core curriculum that we can unbundle, but we need to design that with a view to alternative credentials in the future. So we need to think ahead. We need to think about what our community partners and our industry partners will actually need and design for that.
Our alternative credentials are designed for career enhancers and career changers. People who are looking to get in the industry and might have studied something previously but need a little bit of learning to get in, or someone looking for a promotion and just looking for that next step. They might not have had a credential. So that's really where they're using them. An undergraduate certificate equals 40 credit points at the uni, so they can take that qualification and just go straight into an undergraduate degree. They can go into one of our diplomas at the college, or they can go into work.
Learners can use alternate credentialing in a number of different ways. There is the process of building out your professional development evidence or portfolio, particularly if you're in an industry that requires a certain number of hours of professional learning per year. There's obviously when applying for a job or a promotion, in being able to demonstrate that you've maintained currency in a particular field, or even if you're not in that field, that you've skilled yourself to be able to do a transition into a new form of employment. And then there's also being able to stack into a qualification so that you've tested that market or that your interest is in that area and feeling that you're able to work up towards a qualification, whether that's a graduate certificate, a master's, etc.
Well, the dream for the undergraduate certificates, we're only just scratching the surface with what they can do. They started off being a tool that would help Australians pivot through COVID in terms of their employment, in terms of their jobs, in terms of, that job doesn't exist anymore, so I need to look at another job. For us, I think what we're starting to realise that they're proving to be an amazing pathway into the university as an alternative pathway in. But for me, if you're going to ask me the dream is to start using these undergraduate certificates as a B2B offering and really working in with industry and being able to identify what the skills gaps are for particular areas, fill that with an undergraduate certificate, and then offer that to them as a fully online or a blended experience.
Some of this will be dictated by government, in particular TEXA. Look, New Zealand's Quality and Standards Agency has outlined how alternative credentials will operate. It's not so clear how these will work in Australia, although a credentials exchange by which credit or volume of learning can be established and traded has been mooted. For now, that's both a reason to explore new opportunities and dream of future possibilities, and a potential threat if standards curtail these down the road, of course. However, now is the time to create exciting curriculum and new ways to deliver it. That's what innovating alternative credentials is all about.